Hi guys, welcome back to another review. GearBest have sent us in a bracelet to look at today. And no, it isn't going to get all camp or anything like that there. This is a wearable multi-tool. Here it comes. It's quite a nice box actually that comes with it. Right, here it is. One wearable multi-tool. And yes, some of you will be thinking Leatherman Tread. And as such, I will be putting a link in to Leatherman's website and the Tread product page too. Okay, so here it is then guys. Let's see if we can take a closer look at it, shall we? Right, I suppose this would be a good place to start, especially as it's circular. As you can see, it's made from stainless steel, held together with screws. We've got a multitude of different tools on each link here, as you can see. There we are, there's some Phillips. There is the glass breaker tip just there, and that is really sharp too. We've got, so look, can we get this one out for you to look at? There we go. You've got a pin for your mobile phone here, you know, to get out the little, what do you call, the memory card and the SIM card. We have a little cutter here, a little strap or paracord cutter. Get that folded back again. Right, and a little flat screwdriver just there. Here is the link, which we open it. Hopefully. Not easy when you're looking through the lens of a camera, but there we are, we've done it. And on here we have 1/4 inch square drive for sockets and bottle opener. Mrs. Rathbone's going to be having a go at that later on. One operation this has missed out on is the little retention ball here hasn't been peened in properly, and unfortunately, although it's not going to do so now, but no, normally it falls out when you don't want it to, so it just needs peening in a little bit. I'll have to see if I can do that. What else we got here then? Yes, there's these are actually hex drives, Allen bits, would you believe? They are all marked inside the, as you can see, they're all marked as to what they are, what link they are. We've got our oxygen bottle opener there, and a 1/4 inch hex drive there. They're all marked 6mm. That one's metric, so we've got a mixture of metric and imperial on here. Then that's interesting. I haven't noticed that before. 4mm. There we go. We've got a mixture. That's interesting. Very interesting. Number 1 Phillips there. Number 2 Phillips. Link number 12. Got a 6mm hex drive there too, little sort of sockety box spanner type thing. Okay, so just how do you go about getting measurements for something like this? Well, for a start, so we can check the width easily enough. If I had my glasses on, I'd actually be able to read the vernier gauge. Right, that's better. Let's have a look. The width here we have 30.2 millimeters wide. Probably can't see that because it's upside down, but I will show it to you. 30.2 millimeters wide. The length, well, what we'll do is we'll get this nice little stubby screwdriver in, and we'll take a couple of screws out. Right, there's one. That's a nice tight one. Trust me to pick a tight one. Blimey, what have they done with this one? Chucked it in cross-threaded or something? I think they have. Cool, flipping heck. Right in. It's coming loose. Here we go. I know what it is. It's a tight fit in the link there. I'll bet a dollar. Yeah, it's a bit of a tight fit in that link. Alrighty. Now there's the 2 screws. I think we ought to break it open. Now we can get some idea of how long this thing actually is. So where's my tape measure? There we go. Get round the right way. Let's just move my vernier gauge out of the way a minute. Roughly 328 millimeters long then, and the little links are right in there at 6 mil. As for the weight, 175 grams or 6 1/4 ounces. Now whether this is a copy of the Leatherman Tread or whether it's from the factory that actually makes the tread for Leatherman in China, I don't know. I've got no way of telling, to be honest with you guys. I really can't say, but it's quite well made. Made some nice stainless material here, as you can see. It's quite heavy, and also if I wanted to wear it, I would have to knock a few links out of here to get it to fit. Right, and while I was preparing the next scene or next shot, the little ball bearing did actually fall out. There he is. So we'll have to, you know, pin him in there so he stays in, I think. Okay, here I am wearing it, and you can see how humongous it is. How many fingers can I get in there? An extra 2 fingers. You could almost use it as a handcuff, look. It will actually, Mrs. Rathbone can actually get it on without opening it, to be honest with you. She just slips her hand in there and it's she's wearing it. And it's a whole bunch of fun to get off as well, look. Because I've got it probably the wrong way round, so I can't get any leverage on the catch. Oh, there we go. Finally, I should have had it on that way round, I think, so I could have got some, you know, leverage from the top here. Alright guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down to the workshop and, you know, just to see if it's any good or not. If you want to come along, please feel free to do so. Okay, so here we are in the workshop, and I'm glad you decided to come along too, guys. You can see we've got the Wearable Multi-Tool here, our favourite bit of wood, and a selection of bits and pieces that we can hopefully try it with. So what shall we start with? Perhaps we'll try bunging a screw in here. The tool does actually have 3 different size Phillips driver on it, so we'll just try 2 of them with these 2 screws here. Okay, let's try the larger screw first, shall we? Make a hole about here somewhere, I think. Pop it in. Right, here's the larger driver, because you can fold this thing up to use it like a screwdriver. It's quite handy like that, really. And they sit at an angle there, as you can see, a slight angle it sits at. Let's give it a go, shall we, guys? See what we can do with it. As always, the Phillips stroke posi drives are quite easy to drive in. This one's going in quite nicely, actually. It's a nice, it's a fairly comfortable tool to use, I have to say. You know, for something that's all, well, it doesn't look very comfortable, but it is. So far, so good. The screw's going in very well, very easily, actually. No, there aren't any real hot spots. I mean, you can see my hand has got a few marks on it from using it, but it's not painful to use. We'll see what it's like once we get it into the wood a bit further. Still quite comfortable. Alright, that's gone in there quite nicely actually. Cool. Right, so that one's in. I just caught me my band 2 again on my pocket of my shirt. Right, we'll move along to the number 1 Phillips. We'll use this little screw here. I'll make it. There are some holes about here, but I'll just make some new holes. There we go. Pop it in. Probably a bit too close. Yeah, it's a bit too close to the other screw there. That's better. Pop it in that one. There we go. Oops. Right, let's try the slightly, smaller one. Yeah. It's quite a nice thing to get hold of actually. Okay, that one's in there then. I can't see any damage to either driver bit either. We'll have a look at that later on. Right, let's try the, because we've got quite a few flat bladed drivers on here as well. There's a nice big one. Look at the size of that one. We'll try that one next, I think. And I think we'll try this humongous great big slot headed screw here. It's quite a largish one. Make a hole, quite a big hole for this one. Drop him in. And is he out of yes, I think I'm going to have to just reposition the camera a little bit. Right, let's give it a go then. It's large. There it is, look at that, fitting in there perfectly, I would have said. These heads are, you know, these driver bits, as you can see, they are at a slight angle there. I don't really find it much of a problem at that angle, to be fair. I have heard, you know, looked at reviews of the tread, the Leatherman Tread, and people have said that it might be a bit of a problem at that angle, but so far I'm not having any problems at all. And this, as you can see, this screw's going in here quite nicely. Can't see any damage to the driver bit yet. I think what we'll do is we'll wait till we get back into the studio before we check out these driver bits, see whether there's any wear or damage. You'll be able to see it a lot easier. Right, it's putting that in quite nicely. This is taking a bit of effort as well. There we go. You can hear my wrist cracking under the strain of it all. Oh, there we go. It's got that in. This particular link here is marked as being 1/4 inch, so in theory we should be able to pop a screwdriver bit in there, and as you can see we can. It's in there, so this is yet another way of driving screws, hopefully. Let's give it a go, see if we can get this out. Yeah, it's going to keep falling out, that's the only problem. You're going to have to find some way of holding it in, tip of your finger, but you can actually do it. As you can see, look. Out comes the little screw. If we take that one out and put a slightly larger one in, I've got this larger one here. Is that going to be too big? Nope. That fits in there a treat, that one. So we'll pop that one in. There we go. Hold him in with our fingertip again. And the longer screw's right in the way now. Knocking my knuckle against it, but as you can see, it's definitely bringing it out. and out it comes, hopefully. Right, there we go. Right, we'll move along to the little box spanners or wrenches or spanners, whatever you like to call them. You've seen this little fella here before, using this to tighten up. This one does actually fit quite well in there, so I'll just pop it in the vise. Make sure it's nice and tight, and in this case we can actually use it like a spanner. So let's pop it on. Let's run it down first. You can see it's nice and loose. Right, let's run him down, pop him on, see what we can do with it. There we go, that's tight. Definitely tight. Definitely not coming off. There we go. Get it back on. And there we are. Doesn't look like there's any damage occurred in the spanner head, so that's good. Right, and so the folding link here, the clasp as it were, is marked as 1/4 inch square. So that means we should, in theory, really get a 1/4 inch drive socket on there. I've got this little 10mm, which fits on this M6 nut quite nicely. So what we'll do is we'll tighten that up and see what happens. Pop it on. Pop it over the nut, and again we can use it like a spanner or a ratchet or whatever. Let's tighten him up, see what happens. I can feel the whole bracelet twisting round at this point. You can probably even see it doing so. Let's have a look. It's tightened up fairly well. And undo it, hopefully. Hopefully. There we go. Oops. Right in. What about damage to the head? Well, none that I can see, so that's good. Here I have a couple of cap head Allen type screws. We've got some metric, these are metric by the way. I think this is M6, this will probably be an M4, but we've got some metric Allen key drivers on here, so we'll give them a go. Before we start, we'll take a look at how this thing differs in its design of a Allen wrench, hex wrench, than a standard Allen or hex wrench. Look, as you can see the difference here. Let's get a close up of that for you. You can see the wrench on the Wearable Multi-Tool here is flattened, as it were, compared with a proper hex wrench. So how does it fit in? Well, let's have a look. If we can show you that, and there it is. It's obviously going to fit in a lot nicer with a proper wrench than it is with the wearable. Hope you can see that, guys. There's a bit of a gap at the top there. I think first off I'll show you how a proper Allen or hex wrench works. Just drop him in there, turn him round, and it's locked it off quite nicely. There we go. Nice and loose. Right, let's bring in the wearable. Try that. Tighten him in, hopefully. There we go, and again we can use it like a spanner. I'm getting a fair amount of torque on that. Can't see any damage to the head. We'll have a look at that later on though, but it's certainly nicely tight in there. And try and get him off. There we go. Loose. So that's good. I have actually got this little M4 Allen style cap head as well. So just drop him in there, tighten him up with a proper key. we can get him in the hole. There we are. That's nice and tight, as you can see. There goes my wrist again. Right, there we are, loose. And that was a 3mm, so if we can find a 3mm amongst this lot somewhere. So look, can we find a 3mm amongst this lot somewhere, hopefully? If I had my glasses on, that would help, but here it is, here's a 3mm. That little fella there is a 3mm. So zoom back in again. Pop it in. Tighten him up. There we are, it's got him. Right in. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. Nice and tight. Break him off. Well, not break it off, but loosen it. There we are. So it's done a fairly decent job. Be interesting to see what sort of damage, if any, we're doing to these heads. And loosen it again. Well, that's interesting. Has it twisted it? So yeah, a closer look at that. Yes, I think we might have twisted that 3mm. Been a bit heavy-handed with it, I think. Here is the 5mm we tried earlier on. That one hasn't twisted. May have the odd mark in it. Here is the large flat-bladed screwdriver, the 5/16 apparently. Any damage to that at all? Wouldn't have said so. Here is the larger of the Phillips drivers we used earlier on. Can't see any damage on that though. Is there marks on it anywhere? Might be the odd mark on it. Here's a little mark on there. Right then guys, so I've given it a fairly decent workout in the workshop then. It seems to have acquitted itself fairly well there. Can't see too many problems with it. What we'll do is we'll pop by the kitchen. Mrs. Rathbone is going to give the bottle opener a try with a bottle of my favourite cider, and then we'll get back to a studio and wrap it up.
Okay, so this is the Wearable Multi-Tool from GearBest, and it's got a bottle opener on it, just there, where it opens up. So I'm going to fold it in half and see if I can get some leverage on it. See if we can open this bottle. If I can get it right. Let's see if it's going to work.
Nope.
It's starting.
Yeah, you nearly had it. You nearly had it. Yeah, try it like that, like you just had it a minute ago. So you got round the front here with it as well.
You've just got to get it right in the right position.
Yeah, try it a bit more. Hang on, bring it round. Right, try it like that. Go on, you got it? Try it like that.
Yeah, no, let me do it.
We'll leave her alone to do it, shall we, guys?
It's just learning the exact position. But it's not the easiest, is it? Because it keeps moving.
Yeah, it's folding up.
Just getting the right technique. Oh, got it.
Hey!
Yeah, it's just getting hands used to doing it, and yeah, it's not too bad.
We got it. Do you like it then as a bottle opener or not?
I think once you get used to it, I think it opens it quite easy. It's just technique, that's all.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Mrs. Rathbone. And we're back in the studio. Right, and as with regard to opening bottles, Mrs. Rathbone was trying it like this, and she was struggling a little bit, I think. Afterwards, we took a look at it and thought it would probably work a lot better if you was to hold it like this to open a bottle, as opposed to, as I say, we were trying it like this and it wasn't particularly all that successful. But maybe if you was to hold it like this, I think we'd have better control over the bottle opener. Right then guys, so I think we better thank GearBest once again for sending in this rather interesting little wearable multi-tool. As I say, I think it's either a copy of or made in the same factory as the Leatherman Tread. As I say, I will put a link to the Leatherman Tread down there in the description below, so you can go and check out the genuine article. Yes, you can use it. You can actually use it as a multi-tool to a degree. It's fairly comfortable to use. There may be better multi-tools out there. I mean, this hasn't got any pliers on it for a start. You can't, there's no wire cutters or anything with it. I think, to be honest with you, it would make a very interesting bracelet to wear. You know, for you guys out there. It looks really quite cool. I need to knock a few links out of it to make it a bit more comfortable to wear. It keeps dropping right down onto my handlet. But yeah, it looks really good. You know, it would make a really good fashion statement, if nothing else. It's pretty good. I like that. Are there any pros and cons to this little fella then? You could use it at a pinch, I guess. You know, for putting screws in. I don't know how often you would want to use it, to be honest with you. Another good pro is it's a very nice fashion accessory for you. Looks really does look the business. One of the cons I had was the little ball bearing here hadn't been pinned into its little hole properly, and what I shall do after the review is I shall nip down to my workshop and get a little centre punch and, you know, just pin around the edge to hold it in place. I think we managed to twist one of the smaller Allen key drivers up a little bit. Might have overdone it a bit, to be honest with you. The other con is really heavy to wear at 175 grams or something. It's quite heavy, so it'd be, you know, you'd certainly know you had it on, that's for sure. But as I say, pros, yeah, makes a very good fashion statement. I like it that way. So you can put screws in with it because we've done it and it works quite well. Yes, it's quite nice little thing. Very nice fashion statement. You know, I would have to knock a few links out of here, take a few links out so it fits nicely. It would also reduce the weight a little bit. It's quite nice. Okay then guys, if you've got any questions or comments on the Wearable Multi-Tool, please let me know in the comments below. You can check out GearBest via my special affiliate link below. I think if you purchase anything through that link, then I get a little commission, which I'll plough straight back into the channel. I will put you an affiliate link to this little fellow down below, so you can go along and check it out if you wish. You can also follow me on Instagram too. That is where that's where you can keep up with what I'm doing. You know, put all the new tools and bits and pieces I get in. They all go up there first before I review them, so you can see what's coming along the road. There's my Patreon page as well, if you'd like to support the channel in that way. Thank you very much. Okay then guys, so there we are, my review of this interesting wearable, oh there goes the ball bearing escaping, never mind, this interesting wearable multi-tool from GearBest. Thank you very much GearBest for sending it in. Please feel free to pop by again in the future guys, because I'm sure I'll have something else of interest for you out there, and I'll catch you later then. Bye.
Ruff.